We already know how the Herzlich Willkommen policy ends. And how did it start? In the 1950s and 1960s, Italians, Spaniards, and Portuguese came to Germany to work. In the 1990s, they were joined by Poles and other nationalities. However, in 2015, the situation changed, and many people came to the country for money, but not to work. It was very bold of them to decide in 2015 to open their borders to people from the Middle East. It was already clear then that mainly young men would come, not families, as was previously the case with Poles and Russians. Germany deluded itself into thinking that these people from the Middle East and Africa would fit in very well in the German labor market, and that everything would work out on its own. However, a decade later, we can see how things turned out. What did Merkel want to do? Merkel was not so stupid and idealistic. She wanted to create a refugee filtration model that would be an external filtration system for Germany, and in these filtration centers, there would be an appropriate selection of migrants, and the best ones, who really know how to do something, would be sent to Germany. We hear about crimes committed by immigrants in Germany practically every day. The latest events, for example, from yesterday, involved the molestation of young girls at a swimming pool in a small town in Hessen. These are events that continue to be deeply shocking. The German police arrested 4 Syrians in connection with this incident. This is an incident that we know about. Many crimes do not immediately make it into the media. We can take New Year's Eve in Cologne in 2015 as an example. Hundreds of men from the Middle East molested women who were there waiting for the new year. They began to report it to the police, but in the first few hours, the police did not even want to accept their complaints. They considered it some form of hysteria and did not take it seriously. Is this scenario also awaiting Poland? It is a myth that these immigrant communities will assimilate. That is a pipe dream. Where in the world do immigrant communities assimilate? Worse, they create dangerous ghettos, where they are beyond the control of the state. People for whom Western culture is foreign or even hostile are a big problem, a problem for the country they live in. We no longer have a small migration problem. The actions of the civic platform. It is now a very deep-rooted problem. The fact that it is not as big as in the West does not mean that we can downplay it. Just a few months ago, even with this party in power, no one expected it to be this bad. Hoping that Poland will be different from Germany or other Western countries facing the problem of dangerous migration is pure madness.